Child care programs, this is talking about, there's some programs out there that do offer child care, so parents are actually freed up to be able to go and do some of these other things. Again, it depends on the funding and the community as to whether or not that's available, because for many people, they have enough stressors already and don't get much income or maybe unemployed, they may not have the resources to pay for child care, so that's a big barrier to get any program. And there's the focus on abused children. What are we doing for abused children? Because what did we say about abused children when they become adults? A third of them will likely go on to abuse. So if we're trying to reduce abuse in general, this would be another mode, right? I mean, it's already occurred with this group, but preventing it for other generations. So offering abused children therapeutic day school programs, okay? Some that focus on increasing cognitive developmental skills, communication skills, coping, those kinds of things. Implementing those in residential programs, home or clinic settings. And you know, I have to tell you that here we have a group of children on campus. We're seeing more and more children that are coming in that are within the DCFS system at our CRP than ever before. We never really even used to work with that population. And these are kids that are verbal, you know, they're pretty high functioning. It's a real different group of kids than we've had there before. And one of the things that we need to do more of is this, that's not being done. And we are trying to get the funding for it. That's one of the things that I'm working on. In the meantime, we're just doing the best we can with the interns that we have. Barbara Christian, I think all of you know, is finishing up her master's and is doing her intern hours. So I'm trying to, you know, get Barbara fed in there and with the adults too to provide this. But hopefully we'll be able to provide this, which will be a residential program to include this piece, because it's huge. Those children have a lot of mental health issues. And as we mentioned, they're already at risk for certain behavioral problems, more so than the general population, right? Okay, so those are prevention programs. Just a couple more. Life skills training for children and young adults. Again, we talked about the issue of establishing relationships, meaningful relationships, and not trusting people. So the focus here is on interpersonal skills and knowledge. Okay, what would be appropriate. So working on that area, because it is really a deficit for many of these individuals. So that is being done and is provided. Family support services. Crisis care, I think you guys mentioned this. There is 24/7 lines you could call, basically, where you can get immediate support to families in stress. So we need to make sure families know about this, right? Because that's great that we can know about it. If the families don't know about it, it doesn't matter. If they're not utilizing it, what's preventing them from utilizing it? Is it a stigma? Is it, you know, because they're having to ask for help, or what is it? But just know that there are some of these things in place. This is crisis care program, so this is immediate support to someone who is experiencing stress at the time, needs some advice, some counsel, some guidance, some direction. There's individuals that may even go out if they need to go into the home and give them a break if they so need. So it's very good, but again, not all areas have that available.
Lisa,
Yeah.
did we start ours with FSS? Did we still for our group? Did we have our family support services?
Yes.
Available?
Yes.
Still is?
Families, the one that we created,
Yeah.
we gave it that name because we just needed a quick name because
Yeah.
so I could get it vendorized. That's geared for, we did get approved from Regional Center to do that. Okay. But and some of these names are generic,
Yeah.
you know. We do have a program, it's called Family Support Services, and it is under the umbrella of services of INDCP, okay? But we haven't really been getting the referrals for that program. But that program is specifically for parents who are regional center clients. So I'm a client of the regional center, and I'm also a parent. And unfortunately, being a client of the regional center, that means that I qualified, so I have some cognitive delay. I qualified under their categories, and there's 5 categories. One of them I would have been able to qualify. However, with that in mind, that puts me at risk because I may not have the cognitive ability to, fully understand, child development and parent. So the purpose of this program was just to provide support to those parents, to go in and provide support because they're more at risk. They're an at-risk group for potentially losing their children. And it's not really something so much that we came up with. They came to us, regional center.
That was in Bakersfield. Are we doing it here?
Kern came to us. They came to Mary Gold and they asked Mary, please, 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 and so that's, and that they had a lot of referrals, but I don't know, that kind of fell by the wayside. But now in San Gabriel Pomona, we went to them, approached them, and they really liked the idea there. So in Kern and Bakersfield, basically, the regional center there, we're contracted to provide that service, and same with San Gabriel Pomona. So, yes.
So only those 2 will be available right now?
Only those 2. I know that I've talked to South Central about it a few years ago, and they really liked it because I talked to them about infant mental health and the importance of it. And once they heard that, they really liked it. But the thing is, you need someone that's out there outreaching. It's a big part of getting referrals, and you've got to be talking to these people. It's not just about emails and other things. You've got to sit down and talk with people and form relationships with them, especially ongoing for referrals. So that's something that is a program that we need to look internally. It needs to be done more of, and especially in the light of this economy and referrals dropping and all of that. Because ours shouldn't be dropping so much.Ose kids are there and they're the most needy and vulnerable. So what's going on?
Plus, used to, if a child were born to a regional center consumer client, that child would immediately be put into early start. That's not happening
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
So who's looking at those?
Yeah,
children?
and some of that's been cut because they've made the criteria smaller and smaller and smaller for those children. But our children, it hasn't been cut. They've reduced the rate that maybe they pay providers, but as far as the services, because ours are the most needy. So there's other children where there may be speech delays or there's other things, but it's not to the extent of the kids and our conditions that we're seeing. So, there should be some changes coming. I know Judith needs to do more. She's going to be doing more outreach to all the regional centers, which I think is great because she has a lot of knowledge in the field. She's been with the program long. People really like her. She's just a likable lady and presents well and has a lot.
So my understanding is that these parents has to be referred from regional center to us.
Yeah, for the family support services. Yes.
So we can the parent ask?
You can let the thing is if and this goes with all the programs, if the case coordinator is not familiar with the program, they're not going to refer. They don't.
Sure.
Family support service. What the heck? I don't know what that is. They're not going to refer. They're not going to mention it to the parent. So it's really via that case coordinator. That's why those contacts are so important to us. You can mention it to a parent, and they can then, talk to the case coordinator to get that going. That's another outlet if that happens. But
It's just kind of a small percentage
Yeah.
that we might see, where I'm thinking of North LA has a lot of parents that are consumers, but I don't know that they would know.
yeah, and I'll touch bases again with Laura. Frankly, it's something that we haven't been putting as much attention in right now. It kind of fell off the map a bit. We were told by both those regional centers that they had X number of referrals, and they would be able to give us and that didn't happen.